everyone, my name is Noah Meehan of the Arc Truth, and before I get into this video, I would like to apologize with me not being able to upload any videos for the last 2 to 3 weeks. There were a lot of personal things that I just had to address, especially with what happened last week when my sister came over to our house to bury her parrot who passed away due to a stroke at the age of 23 years old. Something which I honestly did not think was supposed to happen. In fact, if anything, I would think that animals that have a stroke would be able to have something like that around maybe later in their lifetimes. And keep this in mind, parrots last around like maybe 80, 90 years, give or take. But I'm digressing. Due to that, and with the fact that my sister does not like to talk about politics, I decided to hold off on posting a video last week. So I apologize for that. But regardless, I'm going to be making the video right now, and hopefully, over time, I will be able to make maybe another video within the next few days. Should time be able to allow me for that. So now let's get into the video, and we're going to be talking about the DHS creating the Disinformation Governance Board, which in of itself is a pretty ridiculous move. There's been a lot of talk about this board on Twitter with the trending hashtag Ministry of Truth. And for those of you who do not understand the reference, and I doubt you do, but just in case for those who don't, it's from the book 1984, written by George Orwell, that talks about a dystopian future under a totalitarian government. And it basically the Ministry of Truth controls the narrative, the information, so that way it manipulates its populace and keep a stranglehold of the party on the populace to prevent them from rising up. So here we have on Fox News, where it talks about, in the headline, more Mayorkas testifies DHS is creating Disinformation Governance Board. The news comes 2 days after Tesla CEO Elon Musk secured a $44 billion deal to buy Twitter. I will definitely talk about that, and I think that it is connected. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas testified Wednesday that the Department of Homeland Security is creating a Disinformation Governance Board to combat misinformation ahead of the 2022 midterms. Mayorkas appeared before the House Appropriations Subcommittee to discuss its fiscal 2023 budget for the Department of Homeland Security. Representative Lauren Underwood, Democrat Illinois, started reports on how minority communities are being targeted in misinformation campaigns and asked Mayorkas what DHS will do with it. Mayorkas said a Disinformation Governance Board had recently been created and will be led by Undersecretary for Policy Rob Silvers, co-chair with Principal Deputy General Counsel Jennifer Gasio. Already, I'm seeing major red flags. Why the hell is the Department of Homeland Security getting involved with disinformation? It really does not make sense. And the whole idea of just this ridiculous BS of misinformation affecting minority communities, the Democrats are, as well as the Biden regime, is trying to make this look like it's some noble goal. When, if you look back in history, anyone who tries to censor or try to control a narrative tries to control certain parts of certain information that the public is aware of, they tend to claim that it's for their own good. In reality, of course, that is not the case. So already off the bat, I'm not liking this. Plus, I'm wondering, when this constitutes a possible violation of the First Amendment? After all, I wouldn't be surprised that this Disinformation Governance Board would definitely 100% try to find a way to not only talk to big tech companies, but also to punish anyone, like maybe say Elon Musk, for not towing the line. And in all honesty, this can happen. After all, from Press Secretary Jen Psaki said so herself about a year ago when talking about COVID that the federal government, as well as big tech companies like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, they talk to them, and they were talking about trying to prevent the spread of disinformation in regards to COVID. Sometimes, in many of those cases, it has led to deplatforming of people, even for the most mildest of accusations or infringements. That is what has a problem, this is what I have a problem with, especially in regards to the government trying to control what we say, what we should think. In all honesty, any information, it should be the duty and the responsibility of the individual to research a specific topic to make sure that information is correct. Which means don't just look at mainstream audiences. Don't just look at all that. Look at any available source of information in order to come to your own conclusion. That's personally what I believe. Now, back to this article. Majorca said a Disinformation Governance Board had recently been created in... Oh, sorry, I already said that. The goal is to bring the resources of DHS, the Department of Homeland Security, together to address this threat. Yeah, again, the fact that they're using disinformation as well as just calling the spreading of information a threat is already a major problem. Majorca said, adding that the department is focused on the spread of disinformation in minority communities. Fox News has reached out to DHS seeking more information on the Disinformation Governance Board. Hours later, Politico reported that Nina Jankowicz, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I don't care, considering that this woman is crazy mad, I will talk about, who previously served as a disinformation fellow at the Wilson Center, will head the board as executive director. Cat's out of the bag, here's what I've been up to the past 2 months and why I've been quiet on here. Jankowicz tweeted, "Honored to be serving in the Biden administration at DHS Gov and helping shape our counter-disinformation efforts. Majorca also named Rob Silvers and Jennifer Gaskell as leaders of the new board. The news of the Disinformation Governance Board comes 2 days after Tesla CEO Elon Musk secured a $44 billion deal to buy Twitter, stoking panic among the left that the platform would become a free speech free-for-all." Now, whatever your thoughts on Elon Musk, whether he is a free speech absolute or from what Sticks Axe the Hammer says, he's just doing this in it for the money. Personally, I think he's in the middle ground, believing that he is a free speech absolute, but also being a capitalist at the same time, which makes complete sense. Either way you see it, Elon Musk is 100% a threat to these people, because originally Twitter has become a cesspool for the left, as well as a lot of these major big tech sites. And although granted that Twitter is small in comparison to, say, Facebook, it's still a major brand, it still has a major brand that everyone knows and recognizes. And now with Elon Musk purchasing Twitter, this could, and already we're seeing a lot of things going on, that even despite the fact that Elon Musk, from all that we know, has not done anything as I made this video. It's scary. It's causing a lot of panic among leftists. And I would not be surprised that this Disinformation Governance Board was created as a response to it. After all, there have been major major demands by the left to try to prevent this purchase by Elon Musk, going to the DOJ, going to the FCC, going to whoever possible to prevent this purchase and exchange. And with a woman in charge of this board, I honestly do not see any potential balance whatsoever in trying to deal with disinformation. The reason being is that Nina Jakowicz, as it turns out, she was a heavy supporter of promoting the Trump Steele dossier, which turned out to be completely fake, and so far has tried to deny the existence of Hunter Biden's laptop, despite the fact that it's now, as far as I know, in congressional hands. Already there have been a lot of YouTubers making comments about this. So, considering who is in charge of this board, considering that this board is even here in the first place, and considering that it's been 2 days since the purchase, you kind of have to see why I'm thinking that this is a deliberate political move. I completely agree when Tulsi Gabbard considered this a version of, nicknamed it the Ministry of Truth. Because that's what this seems like it is. It's just a means of trying to control the spread of information and preventing the populace from being able to come to the conclusions on their own. And they have even used the situation with Russia as a major example. Although I would personally say that Russia being the main perpetrator behind everything, like Russia collusion, the 2016 election, has all but crumbled. And all you have to do is look at the situation in Ukraine, which, by the way, I kind of hope, time permitting, I will be able to do a video about how the Ukraine crisis ultimately destroys the narrative of Russia being this big boogeyman by the left. But overall, this is something that I think should not have been created. I think that this is something that is very serious, that we need to keep more than a cautionary eye on. It's no coincidence, in my opinion, that this comes just after Elon Musk bought Twitter. No coincidence whatsoever. But until then, until we see any other movements made by this Information Governance Board and of course by Elon Musk, we'll just have to wait and see. My name is Noah Meehan of the Dark Truth. Please post your comments down below, like this video, subscribe, and share with friends. Also, if you have any issues regarding my videos, such as maybe the camera, or how I speak, or the clarity, please post them down in the comment section down below, or directly message me. Thank you.